are going to see Sinners. Sadler Ward is with us.
I had to make a pop up. I had to pop out and show niggas.
Yeah, Shonda Sad is here. We're gonna watch Sinners. Hey man, real quick, thoughts on what you think this movie's gonna be, as far as like good or not?
I didn't want to see it, man. It felt like Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap. You know what I mean? One actor talking to the same self as an actor. I'm like, all the twins that want to be famous, they couldn't find no twins that could play twins. But once I watched Jody's Corner interview with when I was watching
with Ryan Coogler,
night
right?
With Ryan Coogler,
yeah, that was
and
fun.
it's brought to you by Kodak, and he started talking about the different grades of film. See, you can watch it in 35 millimeter, right? Or you can watch it in 47, and then the screen get bigger.
70 millimeter,
and then you
Dolby,
can turn it
40X.
and then every time he upgrade, I was like, oh, I'm watching in that shit. Yeah. And then Jody would be like, oh, I'm gonna watch it in that. And then it was like, he went up to the 70 millimeter with the surround sound, Dolby sound.
And here we are in downtown LA Live.
Watching in that.
We in motherfucking
Took it to
LA
the
Live.
ice.
We're going 4DX today.
Jody, he took it to the ice. And Jody was like, I'm watching it in that. And then he said, but if you watch it in 4DX, I was like, you know what? I'm good. We going. I gotta get home. I gotta make a pop out and make an appearance on Jody's Corner. I called Jody up, gave me the time of the date. And we ready to rock, baby.
And he here. Do y'all even remember that P. Diddy used to be called Puff Daddy? Do y'all remember Diddy when he was Daddy? All right, we about to go and walk in right here. Right here? It's right here. What's up, bro? And here's the theater.
We get water, rain, fog, wind.
Oh, what more? Lightning?
Bubbles, scents,
and vibration. That is 4DX. All right, man. We just got out of seeing Sinners. Man. Initial thoughts. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. We saw this bad boy in 4DX. And first thing I will say is that seeing this thing in 4DX is not really worth it. I would say that just seeing it in ICE or IMAX is the best way to see this movie. Now with that said, I'm gonna holler at my dog, Sadler Ward.
Yo, I'm
and
back.
you man back there, Sad, what you think, bro?
All right, so yeah, you got that out the way because the movie is more musical than it is riveting. This is spoiler or spoiler free?
Spoiler free.
Cool, glad I asked.
E-man, it's not spoiler. We don't do spoiler review. When do we do?
Tomorrow.
Never mind, just ignore that nigga. Go ahead, Sad.
So, you definitely didn't need to see 4D. 4D felt a little bit like somebody sitting behind you trying to hype you up when you're watching a football game or a baseball match. Yo! Yeah! Like,
and it wasn't enough.
And the computer is a little bit late. Like, the jumps are like a split second behind the jump. So you already jumping, then it shake you. So I would see it like he said, with more immersive music. This was a more musical movie than I ever expected. Yeah. I'm actually still a little bit in shock. This is the first time I've seen a movie where I don't know if I liked it or didn't like it. I enjoyed it. Okay, I enjoyed being in the theater. I enjoyed watching it. I have to process what I just saw. We come right out the movie and give you first impressions. First impressions is I really enjoy Michael B. Jordan as an actor. And even from the beginning, I already liked one. Hopefully y'all know it's twins if y'all haven't watched anything about it. But I like one of the main characters more than the other main character. You know what I'm saying? My homie
Smoke and Stacks. You had the two brothers.
Yes.
Smoke and Stacks, one red, one blue. I hope this boy waiting for a parking spot because I'm chilling, bro. One in blue, I already liked him from the beginning. The one in red, I was like, I almost whispered over yo, I don't really like dude as much. I got two different. He tried to do two different accents. I could see the difference. I could hear the difference in the two characters, and the personalities was different. You know what I mean? I overall would say I enjoyed this movie. Now, there are some disturbing parts in this movie. Some of them are meant to disturb me, and other parts simply disturb me. I think that Coogler is chasing Tarantino. Yeah, I mean, I seen Dusk Till Dawn in a lot of ways, but certain things I've seen on film today, I've never seen before in a film. And the way you feel about certain things, as far as being an African American, I've never seen that connection made so literal. It was pretty amazing. Some of those shots and the choreography and the costume design. Shout out to Ruth Carter, who did the costume design. She also did the costume design for Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. I'm sure she probably did Black Panther. So he's sticking with the same crew.
That's good.
I think that he's found his tribe. He's found his team. There was some surprise actors in this movie that I did not expect to see. And I was surprised at the way they came off. A love interest, an unexpected love interest. I really felt that connection. And it was nice to see a different dynamic on screen that I've never seen as far as love and love making and all that kind of stuff. So I say that to say that I'm here for the movie. Would I see it again? I might take somebody to see it, but I don't have to run back and see it. I might take somebody to see it that I think would enjoy it. Horror genre is not my genre.
Same.
Let me get that
Same.
out the way.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? I like gangster shit, to be honest with you.
Same.
Goodfellas, Bronx Tale, Godfather, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And Ryan is trying to get out of what we would expect to see from a black director. And for that, you know, I give him a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? So it was interesting to see. And like I said, I'm not in love with that genre, but overall, I had a good time and I enjoyed the movie. You know what I'm saying? Did it have some problems? Sure. Mm-hmm. And the main problems was toward the end. But for the first 40 minutes, 50 minutes, we even heard people whispering, oh, this is a good movie. Oh, I love this movie. So I enjoyed the building of that world. And I've never seen the South quite like that. And I've been to Clarksdale, Mississippi. We could have visited that a little bit and seen some more interactions between blacks and whites, and they could have hyped it up a little bit more. They got right to the business. I didn't like that as much. I wanted to get to know the characters a little bit more. I wish they could have built out the characters a little bit more.
The movie relies on you to know about the racial dynamic of the South and just understand that, you know, it's 1930s or whatever in the South and it's not good. It's not a good time or place to be in. So
you could have charged it up a little bit, yeah.
They could have did more, yeah. But that's what I said. The movie relies on the viewer to just understand that, rather than show it in the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which would have made it better. The racial dynamic.
This is the first movie that I felt like I could have been involved as a producer on, because I've been to Clarksdale and I spent time on the Delta. They were on the Chitlin circuit, so any blues player could actually blow up. Little Richard, Aretha Franklin, James Brown as a child, all these people traveled that same road that they was on. And if you played music at a plantation, you could blow up from that. Being in a plantation, like somebody being in the Queens, New York projects, like you already got a built-in audience. You can make a name for yourself in a couple of weeks and be a superstar, and then be highly sought after. Don't think that stardom being in the black community is a new thing. Even back then as slaves, if you could play the banjo real good, they'd be like, can you send Bobo to my, no offense Bobo, but can you send Bojangles to my daughter's wedding? We got to hear that guitar. So you get differential treatment, and you could blow up back then just by rocking a juke joint. It was like a nightclub for us right now. So,
hey man, did you feel the same way Sadler feel? Because I feel a lot of the ways that he feels as well watching this movie. I think that there was expectations, there were doubts. We didn't know what this movie was about.
It surprised me. This was a wild movie. This was like really wild. Every time you turn around, you kept thinking that something's about to happen, and it would be a shocking moment. What I did not like is that I felt that for the main characters, I wish that we could have got more of a not just the backstory, but like a situation happening before we get to the main character. But I felt like that was kind of rushed. However, this was a very entertaining movie. I had a good time. It still has some very shocking values to this movie, because it has some really like eerie shit to it that I was not expecting for.
There was everybody like I get it that they was free, but
to the point where it's like, oh yeah, you know, Asians and blacks is cool and friends and all that shit.
Asians was in the South. It stays here.
It rolled.
Asians was in the South. Asians was in the Wild Wild West. There was Asian cowboys. Yeah. So, and there was only 2 Asians in this movie. So, I wouldn't say that he was trying to say like Asians was everywhere. But
3.
I was thinking to myself like, freak, man, is this shit gonna be like extra demonic? Because someone told me like, yo, this is Satan himself and all this, and it had me shook.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait a minute, but this is vampires.
Yeah.
We're dealing with vampires in this movie, so you know that was a little bit of a relief. But I think that Ryan Coogler cooked with the direction of this bad boy. I think he cooked even more with his writing. I think the writing was on point, bro. The story that I witnessed was great. I felt tension. I felt the vibe. I felt an experience. I felt a thrill. I felt uneasy. I felt scared. I felt a lot of the things that Ryan probably wanted us to feel. And to piggyback off what Sad said, because he's exactly where I'm at with it, the biggest part of this film was the music. The sound quality was fantastic. Ludwig Göransson comes back from the Black Panther, working with Ryan with Black Panther. One of the greatest score in the MCU is Ludwig Göransson's score, and Ludwig Göransson is back in this movie. He scored this film, and the quality. There was a scene where there was a dancing scene in the juke joint, right? And it was like a big, huge set piece where it set the tone of what this movie was gonna be to me. I knew then this thing is about the sound, bro. It's the sound, it's the music. And he put a lot of respect on the old school juke joints, the old school sounds, the old school, the real bands. He put a lot of respect on that. And I feel like this is a better movie because of simply off of the music quality and the sound. The sound engineer was on point. It was loud, it was sharp, it was piercing, it was clear, it was in your ear, it wasn't distorted. It was amazing. The sound was absolutely amazing. And that helped the movie a lot. And I'm shocked to say that. Like, how is it that I'm more impressed by the sound than I am the visuals? But when you experience it and you in a theater, you witness what we witnessed. What I witnessed was, God dang, my ears is coming.
Yeah. Was y'all shocked though that it was a musical in a way? Like it was a lot of music in it?
It's not a musical at all. E-Man misspoke a little bit. He means a lot of music. That's what you mean, right, E-Man?
Yes.
All right.
Please don't think it's a musical.
You tell people it's a musical, they're gonna be like, oh, God damn. It's not a musical.
Joker 2.
Yeah, this is not a musical. It has a lot of music in it. Yes, I'm not surprised at all. We knew that it's called Sinners. So my idea coming into the movie was, okay, these are people worshiping the wrong things because because if you think about religion, it's like, oh, you guys are listening to secular music, folk music,
100%.
Music that's not of God, not in alignment with God. And we're talking about the South. People of the South are very deeply religious, and to listen to this type of music is you're over there sinning, you're drinking, you're gambling. Some of you are prostituting, having fornication, and all these trigger words that makes them sinners. And it's a little bit like that. It's a lot like that, but there's a little more to it. There's a narrative that Ryan wrote in there that ties that together, but makes it a little bit unique. I would say that one of my issues is the main villain. The way the main villain is introduced instantly makes me question, because I'm thinking to myself, well, how do you exist right now? And you only know that when you watch the movie. There's the scene where he's very first introduced, the very first time you see him, based off of what they told us with the rest of the movie. After we watch it, you go back to that scene and you think about when he was first introduced. How are you alive?
They needed to figure that out.
They didn't figure it out though.
They did.
That's a big loophole.
The explanation wasn't there.
Listen,
too much.
And y'all won't know what we talking about, so it's not spoiler. But,
Yeah, they're not spoiled. They don't know, but we can talk
he came
about.
in hot. You know what I mean?
Right.
He came in super duper hot.
Yeah.
If you
Came
know what
right
I'm
into
saying,
the
steaming.
the motherfucker. Yes.
Steaming. But then they had to get out before he was kicking it. Before he had his mojo. So what I want to say is, I feel like the big bad, the main villain, wasn't villainy enough. I would have liked to they had odds against him, but I wanted a meaner,
Darker.
I wanted a meaner, darker, big villain. You know what I mean? I didn't get final boss vibes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he didn't level up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Final boss is like, oh my goodness, how the heck
He was dark though. He was dark, but
he
his
wasn't twisted.
his
He wasn't
delivery
twisted like that,
was
though.
very much, and that's the beauty of it. But it's also the beast. He was, because that's exactly how somebody who's evil will try to bring you in.
Right,
Bring
and
the
Ryan didn't want
allure.
to play this movie didn't play into any stereotypes. There are certain rules that you live by in the vampire situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like number one rule, like I actually thought I'm not going. That's a spoiler. I'll talk to y'all off camera with that. But I thought I didn't think certain things was going to turn out like they turned out.
I agree.
I was ready for the
I agree.
Michael Jackson Thriller ending.
Yeah, hey, bro.
You know what I mean?
I kept looking at.
You know what I mean?
Jody getting
I thought it was about to really go.
Yeah.
But what I would have liked to have seen, these two people, I would have liked to have seen flashbacks from their past, from what it looked like in the big city. I don't know if they had a big budget or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I really liked these two characters. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I wanted more of them. And I guess that leaves you in a good place, but it's not the kind of movie where I think you can make a sequel of.
No.
So I'll never get what I wanted. And I think that a little bit of the camaraderie, me having a brother and Jody having a brother, it's like I saw the love, but I would have liked a couple cherished moments so that the stakes were higher.
I needed 20 more minutes. This movie should have been longer.
That's exactly what I said to myself.
The movie should have been longer. Because this, if you want to Nolan it, if you want to Tarantino it, you need to take your time to grow and show the dynamic of why these brothers love each other so much.
Yes.
You needed to show the dynamic of what it means for them to come to the South to open up this juke joint. You need to show what that means, and the movie needed to be longer to expand on that. Yes.
Right.
This movie should have been 3 hours. Two hours, 45 minutes, and 3 hours.
Here's the thing. Even though he's proven himself and he made this much money, we know that the longer the movie's in theaters and the longer it takes, the less money it'll gross.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the studio leaned on his ass and was like, yo, we need this thing down to 2 hours and 20 minutes or however long it was. I know he's got juice, but he doesn't have that much juice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's already proven to me that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no way in the world, if I saw it, I know he saw it. And films are about compromise, I guess, when you're at this level. You know what I mean? Spike used to finance a lot of his own early movies so they could be longer, but even his joints wasn't that long. We ain't seeing Scorsese could get a 3-hour joint with Pacino.
Think how many?
When have we ever said that I don't think I've ever said I needed more movie. Like, I wanted more movie. This movie needed to be longer because you needed more. You needed more story, more time.
I thought the same thing, bro. 20 more minutes.
20 more minutes.
Probably cut out a lot.
20 more minutes, and I feel, because I'm thinking to myself, if the relationships were developed better, if we have more time to linger about why this is important, why this whole movement is happening, and like feel it more,
It'll be deeper.
we're talking about like an A+ movie, potentially of the black Tarantino
And
Django type shit.
I'm gonna tell you something funny, man, because I was drinking a drink. You know, I got settled in. I haven't been to movies. I'm not driving, so I was like, let me have something, and nothing hard.
Yeah.
And I had a drink, and after a drink or two, I actually felt a knot in my chest.
And I said, "Oh, let me stop drinking. This is weird."
That's the heartburn, bro.
And then I don't think it was heartburn. I think it was anxiety from the tension in the movie. Because Jody said he felt a similar thing.
Lots of tension.
I got half a drink still in the
Oh, for real?
in the seat. I was
Damn,
like, I'm good. I'm good. Maybe I need to stop. I'm off liquor. I'm back. I'm going beer. Beer make you fat, but hey, man, I was like, this might be too much. I put my drink down, but I know that psychologically there was certain parts. Jody looked at me, and I'm covering my eye, not scared, covering my eye, but just like, ooh, that looked like it might hurt. Don't do it. Oh wait, what? Watch out. That's how you want a movie to make you feel.
Yeah.
And if you download it from a computer and you watch it at home, you'll be doing yourself a disservice because you need that surround sound, that movie, that
you
sound
need the
system.
sound. I would say you can watch it on a small screen all you want. You better make sure you got a good sound system.
Yep.
Get your sound system in your headphones or something.
Just need it.
But if you got to use it on a small 30-inch or 42-inch TV, for sure.
Send it to
Get
your
that
sound
sound
bar.
right.
Send it to your sound bar, your surround sound.
Yep,
You need that
And if you're a music lover, you're gonna be there. I've seen things. I saw a ensemble cast that I've never seen before.
Shout out
on
to
the screen.
Haley Steinfeld for being sexy and for being different. Like, I seen this role, I didn't even think she could do something like this. Haley Steinfeld impressed me a lot. The sexiness of this script impressed me a lot, bro. They talk like black people.
Ooh.
Ryan Coogler, he captured how we act, how we talk, how we think, how we sex, how we talk about sex. He captured that. He put himself in that. He know what time it is. He captured swag. He captured charisma. He captured masculinity. He captured intensity. All of those things that men produce and black culture represents was represented in this movie,
He had
bro.
swag.
He did.
And
that.
there was no Killmonger resemblance. There was no Apollo Creed in there. It was more.
So Michael B showed a little bit of that.
When he said money, when he said, "Wait, give me my
a
money."
couple glimpses, and there's a
Few
couple,
times I
and
felt
there was a
pretty-
couple of times where Michael B. Jordan's accent didn't sound real
Genuine,
southerly.
but most of it.
But then he cleaned it up. It was the beginning of the movie.
Uh-huh.
At the beginning of the movie, when I first heard him a few times, I was like, but it seems like he cleaned it up over time as he was filming and shooting
Getting
and
better at
practicing. You could see he was getting better at the accent. So it's crazy. You could see the growth with Michael B. In the beginning of the movie, Michael B's southern accent's not that great. By the middle and the end, he had it, which just shows you actors grow as they film, which I thought was dope. Yeah. I really enjoyed this movie, bro.
Who is Haley? Is she the one?
Haley Steinfeld's a white girl.
She is. I watch her on Apple TV.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Emily
She's
Dickinson.
the Hawk girl. Hawkeye, the Disney Plus show.
Okay.
She's the girl that served up Punisher.
With the eyebrows.
serious?
Yes, that's her. Yes.
I didn't know that was her. I thought
She
that was
looked good in
somebody
that
else.
movie.
Yeah.
And you know who also looked good? That black girl in the silky dress doing her little, what you call them?
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
gonna crucify me for this one, but I even told Jody
Yeah, you
TVA
did say
looked good.
that.
think old Betty's hanging out, man. TVA was looking all right in this. I said, okay.
A lot of black love up in here, bro. A lot of black love, even some white love, bro. I just say once again, thinking about this villain guy. I'm thinking back and I'm asking myself, why now? Why this movie? Why this time? Why now? And I still have that question. And I think you guys will probably have the same question if you think about it. Why now did this happen? Because, he's the villain, but how long have you been around?
Yeah.
And
I missed it.
why are you the only one? Where'd you come from? What? How? Why now? Why this movie? Why this story? Why at this time? Why these two guys? It really wasn't answered. And when you start to ask the questions that surround that villain, you get more questions. You don't really get answers. So this movie kind of relies on you to go with the trope. You know what the trope is. The horror trope. Oh, this is a big bad guy. He's evil. He's here to do this. Blah, say, blah. Vampire means this. Blah, say, blah. Just roll with it. He's very much focused on, I believe, the music here, bro. The music and the characters. I wish that a couple of the characters did have more depth. So overall, my critique is the movie needed to be longer. They should have fleshed out the villain a little bit more. But then again, I'm asking myself, like, did I want him to be fleshed out more? Because the more you peel the layers back, that more could lead to something that's sinister that I don't F with. You know
Right,
what I'm
because
saying?
he pushed it right up to the edge. I looked over
Yeah.
a couple times at Jody, like, all right, I guess we walking out now. I already had an escape
I
plan.
was
Like,
ready.
I said, let me see how much on my car in case I got the Uber home. Because it might be a point where Jody's like, all right, this is it. This is my line. You just crossed it. I can't go. He got right to the edge.
And I think that Ryan he knew that. He knew that there's people like me out there because it got right to the edge of that goddamn table until something happened in the movie and you're looking at a scene and it's like, okay,
Yeah, we was looking
y'all
at
some vampires.
Yeah, we was looking
All
at
right,
said, hey, bro.
it don't go as deep as it could have went. So we're gonna leave this. So I think that he kind of did that intentionally. I guess the villain lacks depth so much because the more you peel the layers back, you could get.
But is that
to
bad for the character though? Like,
I don't think so. But you could have given him backstory that didn't have anything to do with his evilness, but everything to do because we know by the movie he had a father.
yes.
Yes.
He had a family. He
Yes.
had this and
He had
that.
a whole thing.
You could have showed a little bit of that.
You could have found two twin 13-year-old, 11-year-old boys. I would have loved to see.
Could I have seen could you have shown them when they was doing their thing in Chicago?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Let me see them niggas at 21.
Right.
And then we get a glimpse at 27.
7 years later.
Come on, we talk about Capone?
My question is too.
Come on now.
The main villain. Who got him? How did he become how he was? You know, like that's another thing we don't know. How did he become how he? How did he do that?
Yeah. I know we're naming states and cities and stuff, but without context, they're not spoilers.
Hey, man.
Everybody knew that to be free, you go north. The South at this time was slavery. It was terrible. So that's what people did. North, South, freedom and not blah, blah, blah.
Here's the thing. So now that we've sitting here discussing everything, we've already explained to you, not only did we want more heroes, we wanted more villains and even side characters. Certain characters took over the scene.
Yeah, for real.
Older established actors.
Shout out to him.
And even longer. We were surprised to see certain people in this movie. So I'm not going to tell you who's in here.
I ain't seen a dog that I ain't seen since Transformers. I ain't gonna say nothing. Transformers. Do the Matrix. Hey, bro.
Still not neat. Still walking like his feet hurt. But hey,
that was a dope casting. He was a breakaway character too. He was dope. Side characters, a lot of them dope. And that's exactly what happens when you give niggas a chance. We have comedic timing where we have a lot of swag, we have a lot of charisma on camera, and he brought people on the camera, new and old, that we ain't seen for a long time. Some we have that worked perfectly, and he gave them a chance. Like, hey yo, I remember on you in that movie, you was funny. Hey, you want to come and be on my film? You know what I'm saying? And that most white directors, J.J. Abrams ain't checking for that motherfucker.
I'll give you a key example. There's a guy from New York City who everybody thought was going to be the next big thing. He was a huge writer on Def Poetry Jam and all that. He was in a movie called Slam. His name is Saul Williams, right? He was young and was supposed to be the next Hollywood it guy. For whatever reason, nothing happened from 2005 till now. This is the first time I've seen him. And he is the preacher. He plays the preacher in the church. Now, he is an established movie filmmaker, film writer, and a well-established actor. And nothing ever happened with him. And somehow he popped up in this movie. It's the first time I've seen him working in 20 years.
Yeah, and there it is.
You know what I'm saying? So Ryan really, and he's a New York-based actor, so Ryan really dug around to find the right people. As far as the people of color go, I don't know the history of any of the other characters, like the characters that are white or the characters that are Asian. I've never seen any of them before.
And it doesn't mean that Ryan doesn't have a good eye for talent regardless of the color. We're talking about this as black talent that doesn't get discovered. They don't get their time, their shine, they don't get their work because he did a good job with Haley Steinfeld. He took Haley Steinfeld out of her box, bro. Haley Steinfeld is a typical Cara Dip.
I'll take her out of her box.
She'll tell you can take her out of her box too. She was a freak.
Yeah, she was.
But let me say, I don't think any other director would have showed that side of Haley Steinfeld. She's typecast as the cute girl, main kind of side girl. Yeah. this shows her depth, bro. And this only happened in this movie, bro. So, and that's a white girl. So Ryan has a talent for seeing and giving people a chance. He didn't just give black people a chance. He gave white people a chance in this freaking movie. That villain guy, he was charismatic. He was dope. His acting was on point. The other white people that was in the movie, their acting was on point.
I didn't see any bad acting in this movie.
The dancing choreography, the difference between white folk music and black folk music. That shit was apparent.
That was insane.
I couldn't stand some of the villains. Some scenes, I was like, please be over. I don't know if I could take another 3 minutes of this.
I think that was on purpose,
and
though,
it was
bro.
psychologically.
I felt like I was about to get lynched.
I'm with you on that because I was sitting there like, are we about to go through this shit? Are you serious? This is really what's going on?
I felt uncomfortable. And then guess what? We had a mixed audience. So I'm wondering, like, I'm waiting for the blues to
the
come
left
on.
of us was a black girl with a white man.
Yes.
It was a black girl with a white man.
I'm like, are the white people enjoying this part of the music, and am I enjoying the other part of the music? Or like, it's something in it for everybody.
This movie is the 2025 Get Out, where white people fall in love with it. White people see the black dynamic and want to go see it. White people are gonna go in droves to watch this movie.
You know what I wanted to say? Then let me just explain something to everybody who's unaware, because like I said, I've been to Clarksdale, Mississippi, right? I was gonna write a movie about it called Red, Whites, and Blues, about this guy named Reds who lived down there. They wouldn't let black people get any building you wanted. You couldn't just have the money.
Right.
After bubonic plague or polio, the morgue, you could buy a morgue, you could buy an old hospital that had bad diseases and hope that the diseases was gone. You couldn't just go up and buy a house anywhere. If you was a black person buying something, it had to be a place that nobody white wanted at all.
Damn.
So, and also, a juke joint is illegal. They don't have juke joints.
Mind you, this was the 1930s, which is what? Prohibition.
Liquor is illegal.
So prohibition is a prohibition era as well.
So this is a crazy place because the place could get raided by Klansmen, police, or anybody. Just anybody.
Yeah.
So, and also the reason I know this is because Reds he is 4 years older than Morgan Freeman. He couldn't stand Morgan. He was hating on Morgan Freeman when I met him 8 years ago because Morgan moved to LA. And anyway, Reds was the biggest hustler in town in Clarksdale, Mississippi, before Morgan Freeman moved to Hollywood and blew up. Now, he said, that little motherfucker think he cute. That's what he said to me about Morgan. So you know, if he older than Morgan Freeman, he old as hell.
That's funny.
So he said, these white girls want to come in here, and I told him, no, you're gonna get us killed. So having a white person in a juke joint around black people could get everybody killed and lynched. And then, like I told Jody before, black people, she said, I just want to come in and have a Coke. I'm not going to drink a beer. He said, we don't got no Coke here. Black people were not, she could have been a narc. Black people were not allowed to drink Coca-Cola back then because it tastes too good and it had cocaine in it.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So he said, oh no, you're not getting me killed. I wouldn't let that white girl in there. And so that, just letting a white person into a juke joint was a big deal because it could get torched and burnt down forever. So that's that. If you watch the movie and you see that, you could put your own life in danger just by doing that. And you're already selling drugs, which is liquor.
I hope that people get a message from this movie. I hope people don't just walk away with like, yeah, that was a good horror movie. I really hope that they get the overall message that Ryan was trying to show.
What is that? I don't know if I got the overall.
The main character the main character that's not Michael B. Jordan. His story.
Oh yeah.
His story.
Yeah.
And the motivation of the bad guy was tied to. You know what I'm saying?
That was wild too.
And that, I hope that, and it was glossed over. It had its moment, but it didn't sink its teeth. This movie needed more time. This needed to be 2:45 to 3 hours, dog, and then you're dealing with a masterpiece level movie. But I would say the acting was good. The music was the best. The feel of the town was great. You know what I'm saying? It felt authentic, but it didn't feel as authentic as it could have being with the shorter run time, and I gotta say, I'm going another half grade higher because of the very ending. People, 30% of the people walked out the theater and they missed the end of the movie, dog. That last scene that you get, stay, because when the credits roll, stay. That was dope.
That's just part of Mr. Coogler's. That's part of Mr. Coogler's swag.
Shout to the 19th.
Because he did Marvel
With Black Panther, he did the same thing.
After credit scenes, right?
Yes.
He said, I ain't gonna just wait for Marvel to do that. I'm gonna do that here.
Yes.
And so there, like Jody said, there is an after credit scene. Sit your ass down and get the meaning of the movie, or at least part of the meaning of the movie.
Because the movie's not done.
I was not expecting for that at all.
And it's a meaty scene. It ain't just some little fluff after credit scene.
It's lit too. Yeah. That's a really, really good scene. So overall, had a lot of great stuff going for it. E-Man, I want you to get your grade first. We're gonna get Salad Ward's grade, and then we're gonna do it like that.
So this movie was very entertaining. I had a great time with this. Ryan Coogler did an incredible job, and Michael B. Jordan. So I would have to give this movie, I have to give it a B for sure. It's very B worthy on that, definitely.
All right,
There you go.
B movie. E-Man gave that grade. Salad Ward, man.
All right, listen, the crazy thing Jody said to me, did I get that? I like this, man. This is so thorough. Y'all gotta like this video, thumbs up, everything, man. I'm glad the numbers is growing. Hopefully y'all curious about this movie and y'all go see it. Jody said something to me just now about the ending of the movie, and I wonder if vampires had taken over music, would it sound like music sound today? To ask yourself that, because we didn't even go there, but that might be where we at. You know what I mean? Because music is not the kind of music like Jody talking about. Quan, you grew up on the Sadler. You grew up on the Ruh and the KRS-Ones and the Black. The music was different, so the music has changed. You know what I mean? And the music is what drew people in. If they was just sitting there playing spades, they might not have been in the trouble they was in. But that music was a calling. People want to possess that. They want to collect that music. So because of that, I'm gonna say it was starring Michael A. Jordan. I'm gonna give it an A.
Tight.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give it a B.
Tight.
Simply because my heart was fluttering. I felt anxiety. I covered my eye. I peeked through my fingers. I was 7 years old for a little bit.
I was looking at
How y'all doing? So we just enjoy. How y'all doing?
We shooting a movie review.
We just saw Sinners. It was great. Sinners. Go check it out.
Go see Sinners, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
A thumbs up. Thank you, brothers.
Shout out to the LAPD pulling up. Like, what y'all going?
Whoop, whoop.
Like, what y'all got going on?
So yeah, man.
They turned around now. They was about to F with
They
us.
bust a U.
Fuck.
And so, good call.
I had to roll
We're
out there.
influencers, man. What's up?
The police cameras. We just came from Sinners, man. See, the shit still don't stop, bro. It's 2025, nigga. We still oppressed. God damn.
Yeah, man.
No, the cops was cool. They was cool. They was like
doing them.
But you gotta. That's why I say with the LAP, you gotta smile. You gotta show them you're not a threat, and then they realize you're a regular citizen. They leave you alone.
I was already smiling when they was, so luckily that helped.
Thumbs up to hey, yeah,
Bro, show that smile, let that shit clean.
I see Stan put that thumbs up.
Yeah, take all the hood out your voice. Don't be, hey, what's up with the officer? No. Hey, officer, hey, what's up?
Don't talk like Michael B. Jordan.
Don't talk like Ryan Coogler, my nigga. If I was Ryan Coogler right now, hey, what's up, officer? Is there a problem? Pull over. Is there an issue here, officer? Just over here trying to, you know what I'm saying? Do our shit. You know what I'm saying?
E-Man, you gonna get your braids? E-Man's gonna get his braids like Ryan Coogler now after this movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, Jody, I gave it an A, man. Simply for those reasons, brother.
For sure. Hey, I'm not mad at your A grade. I'm not mad at E-Man's B grade either. Can I split the difference? I got a B plus for this bad boy, bro. I'm gonna give this movie a B plus because I wanted more, which is great. But it's missing something.
Yes.
It's missing something. And it's missing enough to the point where I can't give it the A, but off the music alone, I can see how the music and what the experience is worth an A, I could say. But for me personally, I can't do it because that
needed
more.
The issues. Those little issues that I had, and the fact that it wasn't, it didn't feel, it felt, if that last scene didn't exist, I'm at a B.
Yeah.
I'm at a B.
Yeah,
I'm with
yeah,
E-Man.
yeah.
That last scene, they managed to squeeze 3 minutes and then give me some type of satisfaction. You know what I'm saying?
The ending wasn't not the post credits. Not the post credits, but
Right.
the ending
that people thought, before they walked out, the ending that they thought was the ending
was a little much for me out of the blue. You know what I mean? So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, we understand, because that's why Ryan didn't take his time. That's all leading to the movie needs to be longer.
If I was
This all leads to that. Why you're not satisfied with that ending is because he didn't have enough time.
If I was a 19-year-old or 15-year-old in London, I wouldn't know why any of the ending happened.
Yeah.
He didn't re-educate us on why the ending. I guess he says that's a given, but this is a global market now. If I'm in Australia and I don't know anything about slavery or Ku Klux Klan, I'm gonna be like, what the heck is going on? But obviously, unfortunately, I do know too much about it. But I will tell you this, Jody. If Ryan Coogler said, yo, give me $8, everybody, and I give y'all another 25 minutes, or give me $10, I would have given, hey, brother, here go the $10 version. Just like you said, 70 millimeters, 30 millimeters, 15 millimeters.
Yes.
Look, for another $12, I'll give you 30 minutes.
Dub, nigga. I'll give you a dub. I'll give you a dub. Let me get 20 more minutes, bro.
Freak a sequel. I got a new concept for
Yes.
Hollywood. Give me a middle. Not a sequel, not a part 2. Give me the middle of the movie.
Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah,
let me get a full thing.
Director's cut somewhere in a couple art houses. Give me a 3-hour joint and I'm good.
If this was a video game, there would be hella DLC.
What's
Downloadable content to help you finish what's going on and give you the extra expanded version. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys like this movie review, man. Make sure to comment. Let me know what you guys thought about Sinners. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Jody's Corner.
Jody, it's getting dark out, man. We got to get inside safe.
Yeah, bro. The sun's going down. And yeah, if y'all don't hear from me, if this movie review don't go up, you know we didn't make it in time.